The Many Saints of Newark is the upcoming prequel film to The Sopranos, the classic mafia crime series which debuted on HBO in 1999, starring James Gandolfini in the main role as Tony Soprano, and the likes of Steen Van Zandt as Silvio Dante and Tony Sirico as Pauli Gualtieri. As the movie is a prequel, we'll be seeing younger versions of the iconic characters from the series, only of course played by younger actors. Silvio, for example, is being played by John Magaro, Paulie by Billy Magnussen, and Tony by James Gandolfini's own son, Michael Gandolfini. Some of the actors in the prequel recently did some interviews here and there where they shared their experiences on being in a Sopranos prequel and their relationship to the series. In an interview with NME on his film First Cow, John Magaro, aka Silvio, spoke about the Many Saints of Newark. The interviewer asked, "You're playing a younger version of Silvio Dante in Sopranos prequel The Many Saints of Newark. What can we expect?" And Magaro responded, "I was a huge and still am a huge Sopranos fan. I had the poster on my wall in high school and I watched it every Sunday night. Back then I was like, wow, it's a cool mob show, but now I see that it's obviously so much more. Then I got to know David Chase on a film that we did together several years ago about 60s rock and roll, and we've become very close. He's like a father figure to me. I know it was hard for him to come back to the world of The Sopranos, but the script brings a lot of the dark humor, silliness, and social political commentary of the show into this film." The interviewer then asks, "What happens in the film?" And Magaro says, "It's partly about Tony Soprano's roots. Michael Gandolfini plays one of the versions of young Tony, and he's amazing in it. The real focus, though, is on Dickie Moltisanti, who is the father of Christopher Moltisanti. I will say that for those of us who had to play characters who were already established, that was a huge weight on our shoulders. We know how much those characters mean to people. I think everyone who plays those characters really does a service, and I hope the fans don't feel let down by that." Billy Magnussen, who plays Paulie, also shared his thoughts in various interviews. In one, he was asked about whether he talked to Tony Sirico about the character of Paulie, and he said, "I did get to sit down and talk to him for a day. He's a wonderful gentleman. I think the goal with the project was finding the spirit of the character more than anything. It was a wonderful project to be in. It's a New York gangster staple." In another interview, Magnussen said, "I think there is one thing about portraying a living person and having the actual person there and who it was and documentation of who it was, but again, this was created by him, so it's a character that someone else created. So now I'm doing an interpretation of someone else's character they created. You know, that's a challenging hill to climb." And when asked whether it was a fun experience, he said, "Oh my gosh, I was a gangster in The Sopranos, are you kidding me? It was a great time." In another interview, Magnussen said, "I could not afford HBO when The Sopranos was there. I did not watch it. David Chase is a legend, of course, and there's the whole legacy of it. I revisited everything once I got the job. It's a very interesting challenge to piggyback off of another actor's performance, and we figured that out." Leslie Odom Jr. is also in the film, in a role as of yet unspecified, but he says he plays a character who works for The Sopranos. "I work for the family," he said. "It's about a pivotal summer in young Tony's life, and we're looking at the Newark riots." When asked about whether the portrayal of black characters in the film would be a frank approach, he said, "It is a frank approach, absolutely." And he added, "It is still, in a lot of ways, the story of the family that we love, the Sopranos. That is not my story." In another interview, the actor was asked about the most memorable scene he's filmed as an actor, and the scene that came to mind for him was actually in The Many Saints of Newark. No major details were given, but he did say, "We did this one scene where all the guys are together, and you know, Alessandro's there, Ray Liotta's there, Billy Magnussen, and kind of everyone had a little thing to do. It was like, you know, just passing the ball." So some interesting interviews here from some of the actors who are going to be in the film. One of the things I find interesting is that Magaro said that Michael Gandolfini plays one of the versions of young Tony, and he didn't just say he's playing young Tony, and it actually is something that I thought was going to be the case. I referenced it in previous videos where I said that I think because of the age of one of the actors who plays a young Artie Booker, who seems very young, I think they're going to show Tony's life as a kid and then jump forward to maybe his teenage years, and then maybe, who knows, maybe there'll be a few different timelines here and there. It'll be very interesting to see. For more videos on The Sopranos and the Many Saints of Newark, consider subscribing to the channel, and thanks for watching.